Hey, it's Don, the Auction Professor here. I wanted to touch and do an update on the Nintendo blocking by Amazon. Now, there's a bunch of articles out there right now that are talking about it, saying that Amazon came back and said that was an error. That does not seem to be the case at all, because the ones that they blocked on me on October 31st are still blocked. Not only are they still blocked on me, but they're blocked on dozens of other people who I have personally talked to. And on top of that, those same games that I'm still blocked, still marked as an inactive, still that I can't do a thing with, are blocked from anybody now doing a listing from them unless they request approval or they have an invoice on gating them already. So for Amazon to say that this was a mistake and they're not actually gating anybody is not true, because again, I've talked to many people. Let me show you a few listings right now from my personal seller account that I can't do anything with. I've already listed them on eBay. Now here's a shot from my seller account from Amazon right here. These were the four first ones that I was dinged on or blocked and pulled down. They marked them as inactive, and there's nothing I can do with the listings other than hitting the request approval button. You can see on there too that they were all pulled on October 31st, right the same time frame as the email went out, and that there's still quantity left on them. So there's nothing I can do with these. If you go to pull up, say, Luigi's Mansion and try and list it, you can't list it. And there's dozens and dozens and dozens of games, all by Nintendo, that is the case now. This was not the case. As you can see, I listed them without issue. I've got many other Nintendo games up right now that are okay, that they didn't pull down. So if it's an error, why aren't they ungating the ones they said they already ungated? It just looks like they're killing all the small third-party sellers for games like this. So Amazon trying to say that they've unblocked these is just not the case. This is a perfect example. If you go to try to list these games and you don't have an invoice, you're not going to be able to list them. This is just four. I found dozens, and I've been sent tons more from other people who have the exact same issue, who received the same letter as I did. I find it hard to believe that this is an error when these are still blocked, and now you can't list them at all. So not only are my listings blocked, but everybody trying to list these that I've contacted has no ability to list any of these games without requesting approval and requiring them to submit a invoice. Now these are vintage games like GameCube, DS, and things along that line, so it's kind of troublesome. Now, I've already listed these on eBay. I'm not going to play Amazon's game and sit here and wait. I did request for this to be unlocked. It says it's going to be at least 10 days for me to get any kind of answer from them. So, it's very troublesome that they do this. Now let's take a look at a couple of the articles that we're talking about right now as well. Now here's just a few of them. Amazon blames error for blocking Nintendo resellers from listing products. The apparent change was emailed out by mistake. And as I said, even though this says that they've been reinstated, they have not. None of the ones that they closed down on me on the 31st, as you just saw a few moments ago, have been reinstated. If you go to list any of those games that I showed you, that you can clearly see I've listed in just the last few months since August, I can't list them anymore. So whatever's going on at Amazon, if they say it's an error, it's really hard to believe, because again, the error has not been corrected regardless of what they're saying to the news station. Here's another one, says it was an error. Again, it's not seeming to be an error in my book, because again, I still can't do anything with those listings. They are still locked 4 days after they said they've fixed the error. It just doesn't seem to be the case in what they are telling us. The games are still locked. They are still gated. You still need request approval for these games. So whatever Amazon's doing, I don't know, but the case of them correcting the issue for the sellers that had the issue is not correct. I can point to many other people who have had the exact same thing and still cannot list those games. Their items are still listed as an inactive. I have no option to do anything. If I go in to change or do anything with those listings, the only option I have is to request approval. Now I've sent it in. I don't have an invoice, so I'm sure what's going to happen. They're going to still tell me I'm gated on those items. And again, as I said, I've already moved on because I'm not going to try and play these games. I just want to sell my merchandise. Now here's another one where they say it was fixed and that it was an error. Something else is going on, because again, even though they're telling everybody that the games have been reactivated, they have not. It just seems to be a way to knock off some of the competition off of Amazon, or there is some deal going along. The only other thing I could think of is maybe there's some specific games that they don't want to be sold anymore, but either way, I still can't sell these games. Neither can anybody else without requesting approval. So whatever Amazon's saying is not the case on the games. You can see it from my account right now. Days later, it still is not fixed. Well, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gave you some ideas and some thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell a friend.